மாணவர்கள் எவரும் போதைக்கு அடிமையாகாதீர்கள். அடிமையானவர்கள் மீண்டதாக சரித்திரமில்லை. எனவே உங்களையும் சமூகத்தையும் பாதுகாத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். உங்கள் நலன் கருதி கல்வி டிவி.
Hi students, today we are going to study our grade 9 unit 1 microorganism. That this is the second class, right, of unit 1 of grade 9 class, right, grade 9 science. Protozoa, right, see the screen. Protozoa, that is amoeba. Example, they call amoeba. Here the amoeba, I would like to draw this shape like this. No specific shape. The shape is going to change like this. No specific shape. But inside they have find out special structure, nucleus there. And some vacuoles, space are there. Some food items are there, and plasma and everything is here. So this is called amoeba. It can change its shape. Say if change like this. This can change, right? The shape can change like this. This is the second one, euglena. Euglena also unicellular one. Unicellular. See here, this is like this. Unicellular organism. And inside some particles have find out with nuclear. This is inside the organism. And some external groups have find out. Euglena. And paramecium. Paramecium also like a slipper shape microorganism. It can be seen under the microscope. Here there are nuclear is available, nuclear, and some food particles and other needful substances are available here. This is paramecium. Actually the plasmodium, they have mentioned the plasmodium. Plasmodium only indicate by the small one, this one. The black color point only this one. Others are RBC, red blood cells. RBC, red blood capsules. Right? Others are RBC. Right? RBC mean red blood capsules, which is here, these are the RBC. These sections have find out under the microscope. Therefore, the black color part is plasmodium. The plasmodium can live into the red blood cells. Therefore, they draw the diagram with red blood cells. Right. Now, we will go to discuss the protozoa, unicellular and unicellular and microscopic. Unicellular and microscopic. Yes. Unicellular mean one cell. Yes, both are one cells. Here one cell. This plasmodium also one cell. Unicellular and microscopic. Really, we have to use microscope. Otherwise, we can't find out. Right? Everyone know the microscope. Right? This microscope in your laboratory, school laboratory, you can find out. There are so many different kind of microscopes are nowadays available, right? So under the microscope only can find out, right? Use structures such as cilia, pseudopodia and flagella for locomotion, right? I already mentioned this. What is pseudopodia? We will consider what is pseudopodia. This is what is pseudopodia. I already mentioned the shape of the amoeba. This is the small external growth like this. Here, this is pseudophodia. This is pseudophodia. It can use like legs to locomotion. This is pseudophodia. And flagella. Pseudophodia and cilia and flagella. Cilia means some kind of growth like this, right? This is cilia. Flagella, you know that external growths are there. External growths, small size, small size of growths are there, right? Flagella. Flagella and cilia. So anyway, the structures have used to locomotion. Locomotions mean movement. Locomotions mean movement. Say example, the amoeba like this. Now it is changed its shape of this. Then the movement. This is pseudophodia. Then another change is like this. Pseudophodia change, it will come like this, right? So the pseudophodia, it is not a stable one. It is going to change its shapes. Most of the protozoa have found out in aquatic organism, aquatic one, like a paddy field or pond, like fresh water. We have find out what is protozoans are available. But exception, Plasmodium. Plasmodium also, Plasmodium living in the aquatic environment like blood, right? Live in aquatic environment as well as in the living organism. Sometime in the living organism. Here Plasmodium living in the living organisms, red blood cells. Plasmodium as a pathogen of malaria, right? Malaria disease, right? Malaria diseases, right? Caused by this kind of protozoan such as Plasmodium. Plasmodium as the microorganisms able to have malaria, right? Then the examples amoeba, euglena, paramecium and Plasmodium. Students, you should know the examples. Students, you should know the examples of Plasmodium, examples of protozoa, Plasmodium, amoeba, euglena, paramecium, right? These are the, so what is pseudophodia? That is the cellular part of that one have used to locomotion of amoeba. Pseudophodia available in the amoeba, not all the protozoans, right? Others such as euglena, it has different ones. Cilia and flagella can use it, right? Some kind of protozoans have find out in the living organism, such as Plasmodium, right? Plasmodium caused malaria, therefore it can live into the mosquito or human body, right? Another one is, now the next one, next slide. Alga. Yes, this is the first organisms eligible to photosynthesis. Therefore, most of these alga have find out with small color pigment. Most of the algas have find out with small color pigment, right? Chlorophyll or something. Here, Chlamydomonas, that is one unicellular organism. Chlamydomonas, right? This unicellular organism. Chlamydomonas with some flagella. It can move itself in the pond. And the other one is Spirogyra. I already mentioned. This is like a flamen shape of this growth, right? It has many cells with nuclei, and inside here find out some chlorophylls. And diatom also can produce food, right? Color pigments are there, diatoms. Most available in the oceans. Whale also depend on these diatoms for nutrition, right? Unicellular or multicellular. Yes, we already mentioned that unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular means the Chlamydomonas as a unicellular alga, and multicellular alga for Spirogyra, right? And the second one, filamentous or thallus body forms. Filamented mean here this is filamented, like a thread like this one, filamented. Thallus body mean, thallus, what is thallus? Thallus body mean, this thallus body mean, you know, some kind of plant have find out, right, have find out some identification parts such as stem, right? This is stem, this is root, this is fruit, this is maybe leaf. So you can identify the parts of the plant. But sometime some plant unable to identify the parts, right? What I said here, right? What is Spirogyra? Spirogyra, only this Spirogyra mean like this. This is under the microscopic diagram. Microscopic only you can find out this Spirogyra under microscope, right? Spirogyra cells, nuclear part can identify by the microscope. But here you never identified any flower or fruits or stem or roots, you never identify, right? Because that is thallus body. Thallus body mean you never identify the parts of the plant, right? That such as stem, root, fruits, like that. So here they are using the special term thallus. Students should know what is that. Filament mean everyone know the filament. Filament you know this also filament bulb. We call when our day-to-day life we are using some bulb called filament bulb. Filament bulb mean like this spread, right? This is filament bulb. We call filament like this is filament. So we familiar to that terms filament, right? Filament not only here, that fungus also it has a filament like a small thread like growth. Like that here the Spirogyra filament. But they have specialized terms, have used thallus. Thallus, what is thallus? Thallus mean, actually thallus term as difficult to identify the parts of the plant such as leaf, they don't deviate at that. Therefore that is called thallus, right? Microscopic alga floating on the water surface are called phytoplanktons, right? Phytoplanktons, microbic alga floating on the water, right? Here sometimes the fondo ocean is there, right? Ocean, right? Ocean. On the surface some small microbial plants are floating on that. That is called plankton, phytoplankton. Phyto mean light, so they can utilize solar power and can produce. You know the whales also depend on this. When the whales come out and take the water, at that time most of the planktons which go inside are going to digest and give the energy to the whale. right? So blue whale also depend on the planktons, but they are microorganisms. Planktons are microorganisms giving more energy to the living things. Then possess chlorophyll and have the ability of photosynthesis. Possess of chlorophyll. Right, forces of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll we already studied, that is the green pigment, right? Green pigment, chlorophyll as a green pigment. It can use to store energy by photosynthesis, processes of chlorophyll and have the ability to photosynthesis. Example, here this is green color pigment like this. This is green color pigment chlorophyll. I have drawn here chlamydomonas. Inside we have find out nuclear. Nuclear. So it can move itself. It can move itself. What is happened? In front of sunlight, it can produce food. It can produce food because due to the chlorophyll. The chlorophyll is here. Chlorophyll is where? The chlorophyll is green color. Right? Alga varieties such as ulva are visibility to necktie. You know, sometime you can find out in the fishermen's, right? Fishermen nets. It is fishermen's nets. Fishermen nets, you know, have you seen the nets are there? In the nets, I have seen there's a fish catches in this, right? Fish also there, but some kind of like a paper, small piece of paper like plant, brown color, green color plants are here. Right, I visited to the beach side and I have find out some small paper like brown color or green color growths in the net. Right, sometime when they are taking fish that is going to fall in the beach side, I have seen that also called ulva. Right, ulva you can see when you go to the sea, that time the 1 millimeter to 2 meter, 3 meter ulvas available. Right, so ulva, it's mostly ulva, I mean here, yeah, ulva, yes, ulva, U-L-V-A, ulva is this here, like a plant, but that also contain chlorophylls. Right. So now we are studying algae. Now go to the next slide. Virus. Right. Virus is a very keen message. What is? It shows living things and non-living features, such as reproduction. When inhale COVID virus, it is going inside through my nasal. It's going to damage my epithelial cells or into the surface area of that cells and have used that particles, and it's going to multiplicate quickly. Multiplicate means reproduction. Reproduction has the features of living things. Therefore, I can consider virus as a living things. But unfortunately, I unable to find out showing respiration, nutrition, growth, excretions, sensitations, no any other features of living things did not find in the virus. Therefore, it is going to source some features of living things, some features of non-living things, right? Special category. But viruses can be identified by using of microscope, especially electron microscope. Electron microscope, especially the dead part of the cells or dead part of the specimens can be clearly identified. Live cells can't identify it. If you want to see live cells, you can use compound microscope, sometime available at your laboratory. Electronic microscope, its magnitude is very high, and most of the time we can use dead part of that specimen. Anyway, viruses can cause diseases, several diseases: AIDS, HIV virus, polio, measles, rabies, COVID, right? So those kind of virus diseases affect us. How? It can be classified in two groups: DNA virus, RNA virus. In the future we will study lot of things about this. Anyway, there are DNA virus, RNA virus are there, and it can change its cover. It can change time to time. It can change its cover and can survive in the environment. Sometimes say if someone can find out the killing medicines of virus, after that what happened? It can read it that and it can change the cover of that. It can survive in that medicine. Understand? No any antibodies to kill viruses. Viruses can't live in the normal dead particles. In the dead particles, say such as say in the pen, right? I can't find out the viruses on this surface, but bacteria possible, fungus possible. Virus only can live in the living cells. In the laboratory also, the viruses culture mostly into the egg. They are inject into the egg, that only possible to reproduce inside of the egg, because egg has a live material, live cells. Therefore, the virus can multiplicate it inside, right? But it can survive in a certain minute, right? So when coughing, that time it will come with droplet of the saliva or nasal particles. It can come out, but at a certain time it will kill. Automatically it will going to die. It can't survive in our environment more time. If it is available in more time, it can live into the live cells. So no live cells condition here, they can't survive. We also wearing mask for COVID. What? For what? We are wearing mask for what? Yes, the droplet can be blocked by the mask. Most of the students, when I am asking, they said, sir, the mask can prevent it to inhale the viruses. Actually, the viruses can't live in the normal environment. It can live in the live cells, right? It is not available in the normal environment, exception droplet or something. Anyway, unicellular, see the screen, unicellular or multicellular, filamentous or thallus body form, that is alga, right? We are going to study about viruses. Here, electronic microscopic. Actually, electronic microscopic mean it can be under the electron microscope in the dead condition. Displayed both living and non-living characteristics. We already discussed. Multiply only inside the living cells. Okay, only inside the living cells. We already mentioned that. Multiply on the inside the living cells. Say example, the person who inhaled the virus through the nasal drop. After that, what happened? His nasal cavity mean this is nasal cavity, then the nasal cavity inside they have find out some cells, epithelial cells. Epithelial cells are there, this area, the dark purple color. What happened? The virus can go inside and multiplicated of these cells because they are living cells. Anyway, no cellular organization. No cellular organizations mean normal cells having here the nuclear, mitochondria and Golgi bodies. These are available in normal cells, cell organelles, we will call cell organelles. But these are not available in the virus. The next one, they don't show living characteristics such as respiration and the growth. No, don't show the living characteristics of such as respiration and growth, and cause diseases such as Ebola virus, Ebola disease, like dengue virus and influenza virus and HIV AIDS virus, like that measles and COVID, rabies, right? Those kind of viruses available. The next one, next slide. Microorganisms live with all the ecosystem on the earth where other living organisms survive. We already mentioned it. Soil, water, up to 6 kilometers of atmosphere, right? 6 kilometers of atmosphere means this earth to 6 kilometers, right? Around this area, this is 6 kilometers, have find out microorganism. With the body of plant and animals, we already studied, it may cause diseases. Sometimes help us, sometimes cause diseases. Other one is meat. Okay, meat and fish, fruit, vegetables, those are food items, right? Food items, contaminated microorganism, and human skin, mouth. Human skin and mouth also having microorganism. Alimentary canal. What is alimentary canal? Alimentary canal mean digesting part. Say example, esophagus, this stomach and large intestine, small intestine, right? Small intestine and large intestine and the rectum. This canal calls alimentary canal, right? This canal called alimentary canal. This is called alimentary canal. In the alimentary canal, it can survive. And urinary tract. Urinary tract mean, you already studied that urinary tract. There was a kidney and the urethra, urethra's bladder, both sides. Most of the male and female possible to have urinary infection. The bacteria can infect it here, right? Sometimes it may damage the kidney also. So it can live here. Hot water. Yes, I already mentioned. Someone says what is hot water is the good one for drinking purpose. Actually, really it is good. Someone says, I always drank hot boiled water, hot and cold water. Hot water after boiling of that, right? After boiling, he used to drink. Right? This is boiled water. That boiled water drinking. But here someone says it can survive in the hot water. What is microorganism? Don't think this water contain microorganism. Right? This is our day-to-day domestic purpose. We have used boiled water, that is good. We don't think about this. Here exceptional, the volcano and some steam water have find out with very hot, that steam water, some the rock area have find out with hot water, and that hot water have find out with microorganism. Not like our domestic houses, when we are going to boil the water, it don't have any microorganism, right? Exceptional, this volcano or rock hot spring water, right? Then salt masses. Yes, you know that we are using salt for dry fish. Dry fish we are using salt. Why? We said salt can kill, or salt environment is not good for microorganism. That is the reason we are using to produce dry fish. Anyway, some salt masses, these masses land, clay land, right, have find out with microorganism. Don't think this salt contain, that means our food purposely or production of dry wood or dry fish or vinegar, some sprinkles, we are using salt. That time, that is making not good for environmental growth. So bacteria can kill by the salt. So the environment is not good for bacteria. When we are keeping salt environment on the fish, that is dry fish or sprinkles, lime sprinkles also we are using. That time we are using salt, because salt is not good for to grow bacteria. But here they said they have find out some bacteria in the salt marshy land. That is different, right? That land already, that is balanced environment, some kind of bacteria or microorganism added to this environment, therefore it can survive. But it can't survive in the dry fish, mostly, right? Mostly. Liquids such as petrol and diesel. Here, petrol and diesel also contain some kind of microorganism. Therefore, you don't think our petrol and kerosene oil also contain microorganism. But anyway, if the environment, that is soil environment, contain petrol and diesel, at that time some kind of bacteria can live. Okay. So now, what is different kind of environment? Different kind of environment have find out different kind of microorganism, with different kind of microorganism. Say we are using to kill salt, using to kill bacteria by using salt. We are using salt to kill bacteria. Where sometimes dry fish, sometimes lime sprinkle, right? That time we add salt. Sometimes the vegetable also washing by salt water due to killed bacteria. Here we studied salt marsh land also have find out with some kind of microorganism. Here that environment is good for to develop that kind of bacteria. Don't think that kind of bacteria available in your domestic houses or domestic vegetables. Therefore, you need to continue to uses of salt to kill the bacteria or microorganism in your domestic purpose, right? Therefore, same wise have find out some hot water. You know, sometimes the rock hot water or sometimes the volcano related spring water is identified as hot. At that environment, some kind of microorganism adapted to live in that environment. Therefore, they said, what is, yes, hot water contain microorganism. But in your domestic house, right, doctor says, someone says, boiled water is good for your prevention. That time don't think, this bacteria also can live it here, no? No. That environment, that spring then hot water, rock environment, already adapted to live that. But this, our domestic environment is not adapted to this kind of bacteria here. Right? Don't think this hot water also, sometimes you know, when you boil the hot water, sometimes you may think, this water also contain bacteria, microorganism. Right? Don't think like that. Right? This rock area or volcano area of the hot water can identify, right, with the microorganism. But this normal our domestic boiled water, normally when we are going to boil the water in high temperature about 100 degrees Celsius, most of the microorganisms are going to kill. Okay. Now, right, next slide. In our next class, we will study about effect of microorganism, right? This is, today I am teaching grades 9, UNIT 1.
கல்வி டிவியில் புத்தம்புது நிகழ்ச்சிகளை உடனுக்குடன் பார்த்து மகிழ எமது Facebook மற்றும் YouTube பக்கத்தை லைக் செய்யுங்கள்.